Well guys, welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, I'm in the big tractor. We sometimes call this tractor the Eagle. There's a long story to that one, but obviously it's a 7622, so normally we just call it the 76, but it's what I've got on behind me is the interesting part. So on the farm we've been quite cruisy lately, is what you'd say. This time of year is our cruisy part of the year, where we just take it easy. We're still putting in the hours, but we're not running our feet into the ground, and we're not going crazy. So we've got plenty to do, but plenty of time to do it. So what we've been busy with is animal health for heifers. Also been weighing them, of course. Some of them, a couple of the herds have got big girl tags now, so they've lost their little tags and they've got the big cow tags on. Now we've also been irrigating. Now while I'm currently recording this, so we're still irrigating in late April. That is unheard of, but it's just what the season is throwing at us. Now to go along with what the season's throwing at us is an abundance of grass scrub, and that's what I'm doing here, is I'm heavy rolling in the grass scrub. Now as you might see in the drone shots, I might flick one up now actually, the grass scrub is taking over this young grass. So this was just planted in the spring, and unfortunately we were going to rely on this paddock coming out of this winter that we're going into. Now as you can see by those drone shots, the grass scrub has really put a big dent in the yield that this paddock can produce, but it also has infested, but mostly they have stuck, well actually 100% of it is in the grass. Now that is a big problem for us, because obviously, like I was just saying, next spring we were going to rely on this paddock being young grass. It'll come away quicker and the heifers can come off a winter crop onto this grass. Now unfortunately that has put us in a backwards position, but as what our rotation is 2 years grass. Obviously this is only done its first year, so it's not going to be turned into fodder beet, but 2 years grass then into fodder beet. So we've got to hatch a plan now so that grass scrub doesn't come up through the ground in November, late October, and start eating at our fodder beet, because obviously at that time of the year, around late October, early November, it'll be very small and will be quite palatable to the grass scrub, as the grass scrub through the winter burrows down deeper in order to escape the cold. So you're probably wondering what existence or reason for existence does grass scrub have on this earth? And I can remember back to when I was 10, and we had it back then as well, and Dad and I went out to a paddock. He was showing me what it was, and he pretty much summed it up in a few words. He said, "This is the most useless insect on the planet." And all those years it stuck with me, and now that I'm back home on the farm, I definitely agree with him. All it does is live about 100 and 150 mil below the ground surface, which is right where our root system is, and it eats the roots of the plant. It's obviously quite prevalent to our grasses, and the way of killing it is what I'm doing here, heavy rolling it. Now I'm not going to be killing it, but I'm going to be giving it a damn good headache. So overnight we've irrigated on 30 mils, which is quite a lot for our soil. Now we've got to do this to make the whole soil profile wet, and we decided on 15 mils and then 15 mils back again. Now we hope to squish them in order to maybe kill a few, but we're not going to kill them all. So this is just a somewhat eco-friendly way to do this. The other option is that we spray. So is that what that will incorporate would be to irrigate on a good amount, then have the spray contractor come in, then also we would irrigate that in again, and then heavy roll it in order to really cross our T's and dot our I's. Now that spraying is about $100 per hectare is what you normally work on. As you're probably guessing, the existence of the grass grub or brown beetle, it's a pretty useless one really, because all it does is piss people off that get near it. Of course, at this time of the year, it's between March and July, it's lifting grass up out of the ground for us, or sorry, loosening the grass for the heifers to lift. But when the grass grub becomes a brown beetle, it's then flying around lights and really annoying you. So I really stand by Dad by calling it the most useless insect on the earth. Okay, so when this bug started to turn up on the farm, I thought it would be good to do a little story on it. So I also thought I better school myself up properly on this. So I went through the internet, found a lot. It seems to be quite prevalent, this grass grub in New Zealand. Now what the information I did find was actually on the FAR website, of course, Foundation of Arable Research. This is a club, if you will, that our farm is involved in. A lot of other cropping farms around mid-Canterbury and Canterbury are involved in as well. And they have done a paragraph or a write-up and researched this grass grub, and they've actually probably done one of the best on the internet that I found. Labelled it really well, they paragraphed everything quite well, and they haven't gone to the excessive amounts of information to just completely confuse you, and it's actually really quite good information. So I would say get onto that one, the FAR website. I'll try to put the link in the description below. I've never done that before, but I'll give it a go. But that's something that I found really quite good, as everything that they talked about in that story or paragraph we're finding here. Now of course we've gone through a dry period. They talk about the dry period that can come through then, but one thing they didn't actually really talk about was that in late December, early January, if there's a lot of rain like what we had this season, that they would come in stronger. So that's something that farmers that I've talked to around the district have said may have played a major factor in the grass grub being so strong this season. Of course, it's not just our farm that's been affected. Anyone that I talk to in the farming community has either got grass grub or their neighbours got it, and so that's something that we've definitely taken home, is that we had a wet late December, early January, and that has somewhat fueled the grass grub to multiply more or be bigger and stronger. So yeah, but anyway, jump on that link in the description, the FAR website. It's really good information, guys. I'm sure you'll learn something. So the other day, where are you guys? Where did you guys go? Oh, hello. So the other day I was out heavy rolling and I just did some filming. So here's a montage. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that's the paddock finished. Now it's just starting to drizzle, so hopefully we get a wee bit of rain out of this, because as I said, we're still irrigating, so it'd be nice to have the soil topped right up and we can switch those irrigators off. Now another thing is, check out this awesome view. Aren't we lucky as farmers to have views like that as we work away in a paddock? Now if you want to see more of those views, follow me on Instagram, because that's where I chuck photos like that on there. I can't really film a view like that and get my work in the same shot. It's a wee bit difficult, but that right there is worth stopping and taking a picture of. Take it easy, guys. Look after yourselves and look after one another. See you on the next film.